Hi, I'm Barbara, and I'm calling from California, Santa Barbara area. But I am here with Ruth Loh today for an amazing training on, you know, the internet, marketing, and growing your business via Zoom. And we all are learning Zoom. We've all mastered a good part of this. I think we all have our own ID numbers and such, but I'm just excited to have you on and sharing today. Ruth, take it away.
Thanks, Barb. It's an honor to be here. First of all, I need to share it with everybody. Just to be transparent, I am so not into social media. For me, it is a bear to have to go to Facebook because I really don't enjoy it. So I just want to be transparent. So Instagram, I only have an account so that I could see my dog's Instagram account and my granddogs and my grandbaby. And LinkedIn, I only use it because I have an account. I don't use it. I have an account. And yeah, so social media is not my thing, but I realized when Zoom hit, not Zoom hit, when COVID hit, that I needed to use Zoom more. And so just like many of you, I've done my business for 19, 20 years, belly to belly, nose to nose, right? Everything was live. I never did anything online. And then COVID hit, I'm like, oh my goodness, I've got to shift here. So I have shifted and it's been actually quite wonderful. So what I want to share today is how I've been growing my business via Zoom. Because I will say, let's see, I've already done Team Tai Chi 2 years during COVID, and it's all through Zoom, and we're on track to do it for the third year now. Um, and we've grown each year anywhere between 5 and 8%. So I'm a numbers person. In case all of you don't know, I used to be an accountant, so I'm really into the numbers. But anyway, so how do I do it? The thing is, first of all, you got to find people, right? So how do you do that? Like I said, I'm not huge on Facebook. I'm in all these different groups, but I've decided to focus on 2 to 3 groups. Like I love Holistic Mama. I love this. There's networking groups. I love anything that has to do with health, right? That natural stuff and whatever. So I go to my Facebook groups, and really I have a lot of groups I'm in because over the years I've accumulated. But you can't look at all the groups. So I spend my time looking at the groups that jump out at me like, oh yeah, I want to see what's going on in that group. Like I have a one with moms groups or a grandmother's group or whatever. So I go into the groups and I look, I search, I scroll, I look for comments that appeal to me, right? If somebody says, wow, my granddaughter's really struggling and having, I don't know, she's not, um, she's got headaches or whatever. I'm like, really? Does she drink any water and stuff like that? So I look for conversations. So I genuinely look for things that appeal to me that I can comment on so that people, you can't do stuff, you can't be a poser, as my daughter, you can't be fake, right? You have to be real. So don't force yourself to do something that doesn't appeal to you. Go look for groups that you want to be part of and focus on those groups because those are your people. That's your tribe, right? I would never go look for a group that wants to, learn how to change oil in the car. Absolutely not. No desire, never will, not happening. I am going to look for a group that is about a bunch of young moms that want to know how to keep their children healthy and do it holistically, not through antibiotics. Those are the groups that resonate with me, right? So look for the groups that resonate with you. That's really important. Then from there, I go in and I am scrolling. I am looking for things that I can comment on, that I can add value to. And if there's something on there that I don't know about, then I love to ask, well, tell me more about this. How long have you been doing something like this for your child or whatever? So I look for both. I look for things that I want to learn, that I can ask questions, and I also look for things that I can comment on because I have the knowledge. So it's both. The other thing I found very successful, and I'm teaching my team members to do it, is to go look for local groups. And I say local, but that doesn't mean, so I live in San Diego. I'm not looking for San Diego local groups, actually. I'm looking for local groups in Arizona, in Massachusetts, in Minnesota. I don't care. These local groups will post things, and they're small, they're not really big things. Because they're little, they've been doing things on Zoom because it's just easier. I'm looking for Zoom groups. And sometimes you could do search, but some of the things that has worked well with my group is they'll go through meetups. Like I found a Reiki share group through Meetup that they happen to be in San Diego, but you can find them anywhere, right? My team members have found groups that do networking, but they've all gone to Zoom. People do speed connects, like a 1 hour thing You just got to look for them. And I say local because I want them to be small. That doesn't mean local in your vicinity. It means you can go any little town to do a search for something because you'll never know who you connect with. I've met so many people that don't live here in San Diego. I want to say 90% of my customer clientele in the past 2 or 3 years have not been in San Diego because it doesn't matter. It's all through Zoom. So find those little groups. One of my team members, I think you all know her, Karen Willens, just attended a posting party on Zoom. The group was all about posting something. I don't know if it's Instagram. See, I don't know about this stuff, but anyway, and they all share. Well, in during the meeting, it was only an hour. 3 people reached out to her already, and she reached out. So just from that alone, that 1 hour time frame, she's found a group that's of interest. Now she lives in La Crosse, and she's reached out to like a Milwaukee group that's once a month online, and so she's done really well with that. She's connected through a customer. She had a huge customer that she found from the group. And so there's just so much out there because now we have the internet, right? There's no limit. Really, the sky's the limit. You don't need to, like Dee, I know you're in Chicago. You don't need to look in Chicago. You can look anywhere. You can look in Minnesota. You can look in Washington State. You can look in Texas. Doesn't matter. Go find the groups. Just do a Google search, right? And go find, or a small group, or whatever it is, and look for things that have Zoom, but look for things that resonate with you. Dee used to be a nurse, right? So you might, there's that Holistic Nursing Association, right? And sometimes, oh, my dog, I'm so sorry. There are ways. You just gotta Google, and Meetup is a good thing. Alignable is a great resource. But yeah, Toastmasters, I have somebody that did Toastmasters, and from there she got invited to a New York group, which, the guy was really interested in doing videos. So now she's made a connection. There's so many ways out there. Do not limit yourself. If you can think it, then somebody else has too, and there's a group out there for you. So yeah. So and the other thing I look for, I am not good with a weekly thing. The only thing I do weekly is go to church. I mean, that's about all I can commit to, but I like monthly things. So groups that meet once a month, to me, monthly is manageable. So it's not about, oh my gosh, how many people can I see? It's never about that. It's about really the quality of your connection. Do you really resonate with that person? Do you want to be friends with that person? Because that's the person you want to develop the relationship with, right? And honestly, I don't want to do business and I don't want to do friends. I don't want to do business with somebody that I don't want to be a friend with. because today I'm not in corporate. I don't have to work for a boss I don't respect because I'm my own boss. So I have that choice now, right? So the same thing with our customers. We're not desperate for customers. We want to build a relationship. I love my customers. I even trust my children's with some of my customers and my team members. That never happened when I was in accounting, right? So it is important to be with people that are your kind of people because you resonate with them. And so look for those things. And yes, the monthly thing works really well for me. I feel like I can do anything once a month, right? I can fit that in my schedule. And so that's what I look for. If I find out they're weekly, I kind of just like, oh, that doesn't work. I can't be committed every week. I just can't. So that you have to figure out what works for you. And then my next part I want to go over is, okay, so now
bringing it over to Zoom, right? Bringing it
right,
into your personal.
right. So now that I found people and I started building a relationship, and I do it through Facebook Messenger. That is the only thing I use Facebook Messenger for, is to make connections. So I met these people on Facebook, right? And so I use Messenger because obviously they are posting and in the post I say, oh, I just PM'd you. And so they'll know to look at the Messenger because I have more specific questions. And then, right. So then I go to Facebook Messenger and I build a conversation from there. And the thing I like about Facebook Messenger, it's all there, right? I don't have to remember what I said. It's all there, right? You scroll, scroll, scroll. I can see, what did we talk about last time? All the things, whatever. How did I meet her? Because I'll say when I reach out, I'm like, oh, I saw your post on Holistic Mama, and you talked about good quality water or something like that. And then, so I'll always know through my Facebook Messenger where I met them at, because I am not going to rely on my memory. I don't trust that. But if I type it, it's in my Facebook Messenger, right? So I have that there. So I use Facebook Messenger to build my conversations. And even people that I meet on networking groups, I always ask, oh, can I messenger you? Do you do Facebook Messenger? And if they don't, then that's fine. Then of course I ask them for their email or their website. And then over a few back and forths, as we're talking about, let's say we're talking about their child or whatever, then I'll say, I would love to meet you. I really love talking to at-home moms or whatever it is, the group. And I would love to share a cup of tea with you over Zoom. And that's how I say it. I know a lot of people drink coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I gotta be true to myself, right? I'm actually not even a tea drinker. I always end up having my sports bottle, but I will ask, I would love to have a cup of tea with you over Zoom to get to know you better. So that's how I get it from the Facebook group to the Facebook Messenger, from the Facebook Messenger to an actual Zoom. And then, and some people, 95% of people will do it over Zoom. Some people are zoomed out and they want to do it over the phone, and that's okay too. I will do it over the phone. I like doing it over Zoom. I like seeing their face, and sometimes even if they come on without the face, I'm like, oh no, I want to see your beautiful face. I'm like, I really want people, because then you can see their reaction. It's so much more personal. My daughter is working virtual right now. Sometimes all they do is have their picture. I'm like, that is terrible. You're working with these people all day long and you don't even see their face. You don't even know what they look like when they smile. Ooh, that does not feel right to me. But anyway, to each his own. I like to see people's face. Like I love seeing Dee smile here, right? I love being able to see Marsha. I haven't seen her in forever. And so those things are important to me. So you've got to do what works for you. And then this is another point that I want to make sure when I have scheduled a time. So I know a lot of people use calendar links and stuff. I don't. And part of it is because I feel it lacks being personal when you do a calendar link. So I will then throw out, yeah, I would love to meet you. I have Tuesday at 9 and Wednesday at 3. And I always put my time zone and their time zone, because I can't tell you how many times I've messed up the time zones. But so for my own purposes, I will put both our time zones to confirm so that I don't mess it up. That's really for me, not for them. But I schedule time. So say I have a 9 a.m. Well, I put in my calendar 8:45, because what I do 15 minutes before, one is that I want to always be early. And two, I take that 15 minutes and I research them. I don't know, my daughter thinks it's a little bit creepy, but I'm like, for me, I want to look at their website. I want to see what they post on Facebook. I want to get to know them, because what I do is I take notes on things that intrigue me. So about a year ago, I met a woman on a speed connect thing, and I went and researched her, and she really had some good comments. So I said, I would love to connect with you, and we booked an appointment. And when I went to look at her profile, she was a truck driver, and I mean, just she lived in the middle of nowhere. And I just thought to myself, well, I have nothing in common. Like normally, there's things that you have in common with people. And I just thought, okay, well, I'm already committed. I'm gonna meet her and see how it goes. I got to tell you, I absolutely loved her. And by the end of our call, we were on for an hour and a half. She joined Meekin. I was like, what the heck? I totally did not expect that. She was really into the woo stuff. I mean, I cannot tell you. I actually reached out to her yesterday, like, oh my gosh, let's do another connect and catch up. Who would have thought that that would happen? You just never know. But I do like to research people, because I think people realize that they are worth, I've taken the time to learn about them. I'm not just, getting on and just drilling them with stuff. And I look for things when I'm going Google searching them or in their Facebook or in their website. I'll look to like, wow, I wonder how long she's done that for. What made her choose to do something like that? So I create these questions that I have as backups. I don't have to ask them all, but I have them ready. Right. And so then I get on the call with them. It lasts anywhere between 30 and 60 minutes. I like to take my time. I don't like to rush. There are some people that only want to do it in 30 minutes. I don't feel like you can get to really know anybody in 30 minutes personally, but I get it. Some people feel like, well, if I don't like the person, I'm done in 30 minutes. That has been very rare for me. Maybe a handful of times I've gotten off and like, oh, I don't need to call that person again. Handful, maybe in 3 years, maybe 5, maybe not even. Everybody else has always been like, wow, I can't wait the next time I talk with them. And then so when I wanted to show you guys this. So, I didn't turn it on. I'm so sorry. So I used to do notebooks galore, right? Notebook for this, and I had a stack of notebooks. That doesn't work for me. And you got to figure out what works. Some people use a notebook, many notebooks. Like one of my team members buys these little notebooks from the dollar store, and every person has their own notebook, which is great because it works for her. I have somebody that has a 3-ring binder and she has tabs, right? A 3-ring binder, loose leaf paper for every person. She has a tab. So when she talks to Mary Smith, she pulls to Mary Smith and she's got all of Mary Smith's notes. So what I have done And I don't know if you ever heard of Remarkable or Rocket Books. I mean, there are things that are digital, but why I have, so I got this from my daughter. It's a hand-me-down. It's her old iPad from college, and it has an Apple Pencil that she made me buy from her because she didn't give it to me. She's so cheap. But anyway, so I have her old iPad, which I'm grateful for because I didn't pay for it. Well, I did pay for it for college, but but she's not using it. So in here, I don't know. I'm going to see if there's an app, and it's called. It's this one right here. Oh darn! It's above the balloon. It's called Good Notes. GOODNOTES. And I paid $8 for it. It's a one-time fee, $8. But let me show you what it says. So I have folders, and then within folders, for instance, here. So I have all these folders. Can you see the blue folders? Right? Those blue folders. Well, I have a folder that says Nikan. So I go into the Nikan folder. And then in the Nikan folder, I have all these notebooks. Look at all these notebooks. I get to pick the cover, the color. So I have one for my ATR call, for my Team Taishi call, the quarterly review, Nikan Next, Master Day, Ben Woodward's call, Mike Demetrius' call, all the people that I mentor, Wellness Home, everything you can imagine that we have that's on a regular basis, I have a notebook for. Brilliant, right? I mean, I'm like, I don't have to have hard notebooks. So I just want to share that. Now, not everybody, I have team members that love the paper, and that's fine, absolutely fine. So figure out a way that works for you. But it's the same concept, right? It's tabs, notebooks, folders, whatever. You got to be organized. It really, you waste a lot of time if you're not organized, right? So, and then within here, I have all these notebooks, but then I have a Nikan folder contacts. So people that I contact with. So these are people that I've done one-on-ones, you know, through Zoom. And there's not that many because I have another group. But for Nikan alone, I have notebooks for each person that I recently in the past. I've only had this app, maybe 4 months. So it hasn't been that long, but it really has helped. And so I just have this one thing I have to deal with. So it's really helped. But you got to find your one thing. Rocketbook is very inexpensive. You can go to Amazon, look at Rocketbook, and that's a digital thing that you can take pictures and file things. So similar, but I'm not going to be taking pictures. That's just not my thing. So, and Remarkable is an actual digital notebook, but it's like $400. And I had coveted it for many, many months and decided that this, when I found out this, I already had the iPad and the pencil I had to pay for, but the app was only $8. And I had found out that many people were using the app for note taking. A lot of college students use it, but you know, we can use it for business. So I take notes when I'm talking to somebody. They don't see it, like you can't see me taking the notes, right? My camera cuts off right over here, so you can't see my hand moving. So and that's not neat, right?
You write with the pen, or do you are you typing? You're writing.
I'm
So
writing here.
it's
Let me
your
show you
little
what.
notes. Oh, that's awesome.
Can you see my notes?
Oh yeah, because I have a thing about writing, and that's awesome.
So you can write it. Now I have terrible handwriting. I know that the app has a capability of transferring my handwritten notes to typed. I haven't figured that out yet. And I really need to, because my handwriting, the struggle thing that I have is when I go back and read my notes, I can't read them all the time because my handwriting is so bad. So I really do need to look at the next step with this app. And it has it, it's part of the functionality that it can translate my notes to typed notes, which would be a wonderful thing. Haven't taken the time to figure that out yet, but I know it can do that. So I take notes when I'm talking. And then after the call, I always give myself at least another 10 minutes to go through my notes and erase and correct if I can't read it, like what we were talking about. And then from there, I use my phone. So I don't know if you guys have heard of the app called Contact Mapping. If you want a link, you're more than welcome. I have a link on my main page, ruthloh.com. On the main page, there's a free affiliate link. It is affiliate, but I don't get anything unless you actually join the premium service, but I tell people use the free service. It's fabulous. I do have the premium because it has worked really well for me. I can type things online. And I'm looking for being efficient for things that work for me, right? So this iPad GoodNotes works for me, the contact mapping on my phone. So I end up dictating to contact mapping my notes from my GoodNotes. Now on contact mapping, I can put in, okay, let's follow up. I owe her, I told her I would send her a water video. So I write down notes. I'm going to send her a vote and then check in another week to make sure because I got to make sure I sent it. Follow up in a week, make sure you sent that email. And it'll pop up next week to remind me, did you do that? And if I did it, I could say, yes, done. I check it off. The next follow-up is let's schedule an appointment. I would love to like just follow up in 2 weeks and see what her thoughts were with the video. Or I'll say, I want to touch base and do another connect with her. I call them connects, right? Because it's connecting with people. Or I want to do another connect in 2 months. So I put it down, 2 months, call her and let's schedule, put something to catch up. So I use contact mapping for that. It has helped me because now I'm not always touching it every day. So I'm always behind. Like if I went to my contact mapping right now, I am sure, yeah, there's 31 people I need to follow up with. I'm not so good with that part, but I'm working on it. So, but at least it's all there. I haven't missed anybody. It's all there. And that's why I like having it. Yeah, so there's beginning work, there's work when you're on the call, and there's work afterwards. It's all three. And if you only do a part of each one, you're shortchanging yourself, right? So you really need to do all three parts to really be efficient and to be thorough and to be with integrity of what you're spending your time on, right? Don't do a halfway job. You don't have to do tons, even if you did one a week. Just do it thoroughly. Do all the components so that you have a quality person, you have quality notes, you have quality follow-ups. It's not about massively getting to tons of people. That's not what it's all about. It's about developing relationships. So I will tell you, I mean, you guys saw my numbers on the screen. That's on as of the 11th of the month, right? My PGV is pretty sweet, but it's because of what I'm doing, what I just shared with you.
Now you
And
also have you have a great wellness subscription group.
I
And
do.
you also convert some of these people from customers over to, so you do sign them up as a customer, correct? So
Absolutely.
you ask midway or?
No. During our conversation, it may never come up, actually. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 rounds of our connects before they actually sign up as a customer.
Okay.
It's rare. I mean, that woman with the truck driving, that is so unusual, but it can happen. That's the only reason why I shared it. It can happen. Most of the time, people want information and I got to make sure I get it to them. Almost always, and I don't have it with you guys because you're all Nikan people, but when I go onto a call, I always have my sports bottle. And you know what else I always have here? I always have my insoles to show people like, oh, I love this. And I love this on my back. And I have things here that are right handy. So because I do everything on Zoom. So when it comes time that they want to know information, I have most, like I always talk about my necklace, I have my seat cushion, I have my grounding mat. I live and breathe Nikan. That's how I live my life, right? And they know that because of I have everything right here. I have my air filter. Yeah. So yes, when they're ready, they will sign up as a customer. And I know Mike Demucho will cringe, but I don't push the business. I believe that people will self-identify. In the 22 years I've been doing Nikan, my business builders have all been self-identified. They have not been people that I'm like, you really should do the business. It has not been that way at all. It has always been like, Ruth, I want to do what you're doing. I'm like, you do? Okay, let's play, right? It has always been self-identified. So I am not going to change that. Now, is my group huge? No, it's not. But do I love what I do? Absolutely. So that's okay. I don't have like Leo Lemay is fabulous. I don't know how he breaks all those silvers. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I respect him and I think that's fabulous. I don't know how it gets done. That I don't know.
That's okay. Let's keep it. Okay. So
Yeah, we all do it our own
then
way.
transferred them over, and then on a blue moon, you get the truck driver gal that just says, I want in. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
And
It's crazy.
that's great. So
Yeah,
we'll do this again with training as well. Keeping it, but I love that, and I want to underline it because you might have missed it. She does show and tell. She picks it up, she shows the product, that's how she does her demonstrations online. So guys, this is awesome. Go find a Facebook group, get with a person, let's share this out. Okay, thank you so much, Ruth Loh, for coming on
Thank
board
you.
and doing this.